Hi, I'm Sylvia from Noni New Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to do my mice. The actual designs are going to come in 5 different sizes, but today we've got the 5x7 here and the 6x10, and we're going to demonstrate on the 5x7. I got all my pattern pieces ready, and I've got my fabric cut out. For the front, you just need one piece of fabric and a piece for the applique. For the back, if you want a little humpy back, you need two separate bits of material. If you just want a straight back, you use just the same size as for the front. For the tail, arms and feet, we use 2 bits, one for the front, for the back, and it's same color. And for the ears, I'm using heat and bond, and I'm going to iron that onto the blue bit of material, and we're using the green for like the same color as the body. And as you can see, the ears, they're nice and firm. They're not really stiff, but they hold its shape. So if you want your ears to go like that, you use heat and bond. Okay, let's start. We've got a bit of problem. I've got to get rid of the cat first. Hey, listen, we got to do some work here. You're going to move. I've put the stabilizer on my hoop and put the hoop in the machine, and what we're going to do now is stitch out the outline of the ear. The machine's done the outline on the stabilizer, and I've got my 2 bits of fabric here. And I've put the heat and bond on this. So now we are going to place that on top of the outline. We've got to put the right sides facing each other. And make sure the heat and bond is at the top, because if you put that, right on the top of that, if you put that facing this way, your machine won't stitch very well. Make sure it covers the outlines, and it does. And then just tape the corners. Some people were asking me what the tape I was using, and this is called quilter's tape. You can get it at Amazon. Okay, and now I put the hoop back into the machine. I've put the hoop back into the machine, and I'm now going to stitch out the second outline. Right, the machine is finished stitching the outline of the ear, and we're going to remove the stabilizer, and I want you to just remove it where literally on the outside of the ear, and you leave the inner side in, because that'll also help keep the ear a little bit more stiff. Okay, I've taken the stabilizer away from the outside, and now what we got to do is trim it about 1/4 inch all the way around, and this line here is the center line, and you can cut straight on that. Right, I've cut them out, and I don't know if you can see that, clipped the corners. Okay, it's very important you do that. I'm going to turn them inside out in a minute and iron them and get them ready when we need them, when we do the body. Right, the next hooping is going to be the arms, legs, and the tail. It's very important that you do it in the right order, because you need the tail when you do the hooping for the back. So the first color is going to be the outline. machine has outlined the arms and legs and the tail, and now we're going to put one piece of the fabric for that, making sure it covers everything, and it does. Tape it down. Okay, let me put it back in the machine. I've put the hoop back in the machine, and it's now going to stitch out the paw prints. And if you use any material but cotton, I would advise you to use water soluble on top, but you don't need it for this. The machine's done the paw prints, and now we're going to put the second piece of fabric right side facing each other, and just tape it down. Okay, I've taped it down, hoop back in the machine, and it's going to stitch out the third and final color, and that's going to stitch both sides together. The machine has stitched the outline, and now what we're going to do is cut about 1/4 inch all the way around, and these lines here are the dividing lines, so you cut straight on those, and then you'll find you have 2 arms and 2 legs. So I'll go and do that now. Right, I'm going to show you how to turn the tail inside out, because I know some of you are having problems. What you need is to get yourself a pair of hemostats, and you stick that right in the bottom. Put the material in and close it right here, and then gently push it up, and it's not doing it. Here we go. Then you undo it, stick it back in there and push the end out. I'm just going to iron this, and I'll be right back. Now we're going to stuff the tail lightly, and another little trick that you may or may not know, what I do is I get these things again, and then, oops, you can stick this right down to the bottom. Then you get another bit, and do the same thing. Okay, and you just keep doing that till you get to about here. This is the third hooping now that we're going to do, and this is the back. And it's going to first do a line, a placement line, where we're going to put the fabric. This is the placement line, and I've got my bits of fabric cut out, and you put the fabric, making sure it's well past both lines, and you tape it. Or I can use the magnets, it's quite handy. Okay, now we take the hoop back to the machine, and the next thing it's going to stitch out is the center marking. And it's just a basting stitch to give you a guide where the center is when we attach it to the front later on. And the third color is the placement line for the tail. Right, now this is going to be the back, this is going to be the little bulges bottom, and the tail, you want it to go like that. So you hold it like that and turn it over and just place it like that and stitch it. Now we have to place the other bit on top. So right side facing down and line it up exactly with the cloth underneath. And I'll tape it too. Okay, then we take it back to the machine. And this is the last color, number 5, and it's just going to do the outline. Okay, I've taken the design out of the hoop now, and what you got to do is cut along about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, making sure you snip in here. And this line here, if you can just leave a little bit on either side of the stitching so you'll be able to see where the center is. Failing that, if it comes out, you can just mark it on the fabric, the one that you don't see obviously. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. Right, now is the 4th hooping and the final hooping, and we're going to do the front of the body. It's just going to be outline now, where we're going to place the fabric. The outline, and now we're going to put the fabric on top, right side facing up, making sure it covers all the outline. And I'm just going to tape this on now. I've taped the fabric to the stabilizer. Now we're going to stitch out color 2 which secures it. Right, it's now going to do color 3, and that's the white of the eyes. If you're using Minky or some other type of material like that, it's wise to use some water soluble for that. Right, it's done the white of the eyes, and now we're going to give them blue eyes. The same color as the polka dots. Color 5 is going to be the black of the eyes, the pupils, and all around it, eyelashes, eyebrows, and his whiskers and his mouth. Right, we've done all the black bits now, and now it's going to do the highlights in his eyes, or her eyes. Next is going to be his little nose, and I decided to give her a little pink one. Next is going to be the outline where the applique is going to go. And if you don't want an applique, you skip that step, or those steps. I've put heat and bond on the back of this, and we're just gonna, it's just when you do applique with cotton, I'll find it comes out nicer. Now we're going to place that. I'll probably hold without me putting it down and do the next stitch in. What we're going to do now is really trim really close towards the stitch line. I've trimmed right around the stitch line, and now we're going to use the decorative stitch. It's done all the decorative stitches around here, and now is the time if you want to put your own wording there, or a little heart or whatever you want to put there, you can do that, or you can use what I've used. If you don't want to put anything, you just skip the next two steps. It's finished stitching out the little heart, and now we're going to do the lettering. We finished doing the lettering, and now we're going to place the limbs and the ears. So the first stitch out is going to be the left arm. So this is going to be the placement line for that. So here we've got the arm, and we've left the top bit empty. And what we're going to do is place it like so, and start the machine. Okay, that's that placed, and the next we're going to do the leg. Place the leg in position, placement of the second leg. Right, the second leg is in position, so off we go. And now it's going to do the right arm. Okay, I've placed the arm there, and I'm now going to stitch it. This is going to be the placement line for the right ear. So what we're going to do, the ear is going to go like that, and then you turn it over and you line it up right with where the stitch starts, and then turn it where the stitch ends here. That's it. And then you press go. Now it's going to do the placement line for the left ear. And again, this is how the ear is going to look. So you place it like that and then turn it over. And we're going to line it up again with where the stitching stops here, and see if I can see over there, yeah. Okay, now she's all finished, and what we're going to do is we're going to fold the ears. Make sure we're not near the stitching line. I think I'm going to have to really fold them up. Do my usual little trick here. Just pretend it's a little parcel. So that's one. We're going to do the same with the other ear. I've taped both of them up. What you do now is you stick that down here. Do it as tightly as you can so it stays flat. So that's them done. We're going to tuck the arms down, so you put the tape like this. Stick the arms down. And the legs are all right now. Now we've got the back, and what we have to worry here is the tail. So we got to tuck the tail in so it doesn't go near any of the outlines. We're going to pin this now, and you're going to make sure this is right in the middle and her little bottom is right in the middle. So I'll go and pin this now. Okay, I've taped it, I've pinned it all around, and try to push it down as much as I can. And you turn it over and you check all your pin positions. And as you can see, they're nowhere near the stitching line. So now I'm going to take the hoop back to the machine and stitch out the last color. Right, ready to stitch. We finished stitching all around the mouse, and there is one more color left, but we're going to ignore that because that is to prevent your needle going to the middle of the hoop. So we can remove it from the hoop now. And before you take all the pins out and take everything out, I want you to check to make sure it hasn't picked up any bits that it's not supposed to. And I don't think it has. You can check. And once you've done that, you can take it out of the hoop and trim right along. Make sure you snip in the corners and you can turn it inside out. Here she is, all finished, and she's got lovely little bottom and a tail, nice big ears you can do all your writing on, and now she's ready to join the rest of the family. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you in making my mouse. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!